Happy Crafternoon, friends. I'm Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all over the United States and around the world. Today, we're going to have fun because I was thinking about how many scraps I build up all the time. And I've done some cards recently in some lives using scraps. I did one not that long ago, which was a really fun card. We made some snowflakes out of scraps, but I still have tons of scraps. So today I thought it would be fun to pull out some more scraps and make some holiday cards. Now I'm going to try to get 2 cards out of one set of products here. So we're going to see what we can do with that. But before we get started, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Hey, happy Crafternoon.
How are you today?
Okay, much better than horrible, I guess.
Well, that's good, I guess, right?
Nice to have a few of those days.
Yes, somebody was saying that that they made their own shirt that said better than horrible, and a lot of people are asking for t-shirts. So do you think we should maybe do t-shirts that say better than horrible?
Let's get working on it.
Okay. Will you wear one?
Yeah, let's get a whole bunch of things like, coffee mugs, bumper stickers.
Coffee mugs would be great because even sometimes the coffee that I make in the morning is just better than horrible.
Right. Some of those flags they pull behind the airplanes,
Yeah, that sounds great. Let's do it. Oh, man. Well, I know we're going to hear back from you a little bit later because I heard you working over there on some stuff.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
As always.
Okay, sounds good. Well, everybody, it is great to see you. Welcome. I see people coming in from all over the place. Thank you so much. Yes, Rena did my hair. I'm getting blonder every day. Not every day, but every 3 weeks. And so, yeah, next time you see me, you never know. It's going to have even more blonde in it. And the reason I'm going blonde, somebody asked me, why are you going blonde? Is because my hair is white. It's not gray. It's white. It is white. Like if I let it go natural, I could be in Narnia. I really could have been the winter witch in Narnia when they went through the closet and she just had like white eyebrows, white everything. I am pure Snow White. So I thought that blonde hair, I'd have to do my roots less if I had blonde hair than having very, very dark hair. My natural color is very dark, like almost black when, years ago. But now I'm white, pure white. So, and I'm going down kicking and screaming, guys. So you're just going to have to put up with me. All right. So let's talk about what we're going to use today, because here's a new product that came out that I haven't used yet in a live, and I want to show it to you. So we're going to be using this today. This is our Holiday Toppers die set. So this has a couple of different ornament toppers, and then it also has present toppers, like gift toppers. So I thought if we had a bunch of different colors and we could make ornaments and we can make gifts out of them, we could really make some cute cards. So here's a couple colors that I found. I have a jelly bean green scrap that I pulled out. I have a red hot scrap, and I have a turquoise sea scrap. And I think these 3 colors are fun for the holidays. They're fun for any time of the year, but they are fun holiday colors. This is not a traditional Christmas green. If we used a more traditional Christmas green, we could probably get away with some Lucky Clover. That seems a little darker green. I don't know. Which one do you guys like better? Do you like the Lucky Clover or do you like the jelly bean green? Let's take a quick vote because I think I have both of those in my scrap drawer. Oh my gosh. I have like 4 scrap drawers now. This is terrible. Here's a jelly bean green scrap I could use. Let's see. I mean, not jelly bean. This is a lucky clover. You guys like jelly bean green better? Okay. It's looking like jelly bean green is the winner chicken dinner. Okay. So we'll do that. Now, I also thought what would be fun to do is to use some background stamps for this. So I have a couple of background stamps here. I have our diagonal stripe, I have our petite flourish, and then I have our rose one. This is the rose lace one. And I thought it would be fun to do something with these. Now I'm also going to need some embossing and watermark ink. And then I also have a couple of white scraps here that I'm going to use. So we are really this is just a scrappy day today. Okay, so let's start with the Turquoise Sea. I'm going to start with this one for Turquoise Sea, and I'm going to use the Embossing and Watermark ink. Now, I am going to start by putting a little embossing magic on here. I think some people like the Lucky Clover, but it seems like overwhelming was Jelly Bean Green. So we'll do that one. And again, whatever scraps you have, it's going to look good no matter what. Okay, so I'm going to use some of the Gina K Designs Embossing and Watermark ink. And I'm going to ink up some of this stamp. I don't think I cleaned this one very well last time, but that's okay. All right, let's see here. Get a good inking on this. Okay. And then I'm just going to put that face down on here. Now let me find another piece of scrap paper. Here, another use for scraps. Here's a piece. That was just, that's not really, is that a scrap? I'm going to tear this a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to lay this on top and I'm going to rub my hands all over it. This is the way I like to use background stamps. I like to use them on their back. So if you remember background, lay it on its back, you'll remember to do it this way. And I think it's easier to get a good impression. So that looks like a really good impression there. I think you guys can see that okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a clothespin on here. I don't have to worry too much about getting it all the way up to the edge. But I'm going to use some Gina K Designs Gold Fine Detail Embossing Powder on this. So let's just get that all over the surface there. Okay. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make the look of gift wrap. And you know how everything's kind of shiny at Christmas. So you could do this with silver and it would probably look gorgeous with silver on the blue. But since I'm using yellow, red and green, I am going to stick with gold for this. Because I think, I don't know, you could use either silver or gold. But let's just do gold today. I'm just heating up my tool. And now I'm going to emboss that. Gold and blue is really pretty together too, so either one will work. Ooh-wee. I love that. So I'm going to use this whole piece to cut out a couple things. But I'm going to emboss the other ones first. And if you are one of the people out there that likes to mix gold and silver, maybe you like wearing gold and silver jewelry, maybe you like that more eclectic look, you definitely can mix gold and silver together to do this as well. Okay, so there is my gold pattern here. That's so pretty, huh? Okay, let's put that aside. I'll clean those later, she said, as if she meant it. You know, I'm second guessing myself here with this jelly bean. But let's try it. Let's see how it looks. So I'm going to do Petite Flourish on this one. We'll ink this up. This is the Petite Flourish background stamp. We don't need to do the whole thing. Okay. And then I'm going to run that embossing magic pad over it. And then I'm going to put that on top here, like that. And once again, I'm going to rub all over the surface. This is the Petite Flourish background stamp. The first one is called Rose Lace, and they are our big rubber background stamps. They emboss so nicely. I like clear background stamps too, but I do have some rubber ones in our collection. Okay, So there we go. There's our second design. And let's do the same thing. We'll get some gold embossing powder on here. And remember, everything, once I make all these cards, I'm going to share them in our Facebook group and also here on YouTube in our community tab. I'm just getting it onto the sides there. There's a little bit up top, but I'm not going to need anywhere near this much for my projects today. Okay, let me get my sleeve and clean up the embossing powder. Okay, let's emboss this one now. And again, this is the Petite Flourish. We have an embossing folder in this design as well. It's a really pretty delicate design. These also look really pretty if you use gold on gold. So if you did this gold embossing on gold metallic cardstock, it's really quite stunning. Okay. Looks pretty good. Okay. So you can see that design in there. All right. And we're going to do one more. We're going to do the diagonal stripe. And this one we're going to do on the red hot. So let me get these out of the way. We're going to ink up some of this. Diagonal stripe always reminds me of the holidays. I could use the Chucky tool, but I want to make sure that I'm able to hold it down and everything, so that piece of paper really helps. It makes it a little easier for me than the Chucky tool. And the Chucky tool is curved, so it really has a lot of direction right in the center, where my hand and that flat piece of cardstock works really well. Okay, almost forgot to use my embossing magic there. All right, I'm going to put that right on top. And again, find that piece of paper on top there and rub. Yes, some people like to use a brayer. I personally don't have the strength with a brayer to get it to do as much pressure as this does. So I just like to do it the old-fashioned way with my hands. Ooh, that's so pretty. Okay, so we'll get some gold on here too. So everything is gold, gold, gold. Ooh, this is going to be pretty. Could do white too with this stripe, and it would look more like a candy cane, which would be fun. Let's get this put away. We're not done with this though. Okay. Here we go. We're kind of making two cards at once today. I love that. Look at that. Isn't that just... I'm telling you, embossing, I said it on my last live, it's the gateway drug. Somebody comes over to your house and you want to convert them into a stamper, have them emboss something. They'll do this once and they'll be like, okay, now I got to do everything. It's so fun. Okay. Isn't that pretty? Love the stripes. Alrighty, so we've got 3 different patterns here that we're going to use for our project. Now we're going to do something else. We're going to, let's do it on here first. So I'm not using the embossing magic pad for this because I want to emboss in gold a big chunk of this. So I am trying to get as much ink on here as possible. I'm just smashing that ink right onto this piece of cardstock. Okay, that should be pretty good. And if it's not enough, the good thing is we can always go back and add more. Let's do this. Let's see what we can come up with here. Looks good. Okay. So let's emboss that first because we might have to go back and do it again. This is the Wagner heat tool that I'm using. And this really helps to have a clothespin here on this one. You can see I'm just embossing this whole thing because I'm going to do some die cutting out of this. You know, we're all kind of watching this happen at the same time, including me, because I don't ever really know what I'm going to do. But it's really fun to just try it live. So that looks pretty good. I don't think I have to do anything else to that. Let's do another piece like that. That looks really good, doesn't it? And what I like about doing this is I'm going to cut out some of these elements using this. And then this is going to perfectly match the gold in here. So instead, if I cut it out using gold cardstock, the golds might not match. You know, one might be more shiny, or one might be more yellow, or one might be more green. So this way, everything is perfectly coordinated. All right, let's do this piece now. Same thing. I'm going to turn this over because I have a lot of embossing powder on there and I don't want to get it all over my ink pad. I'm using my sleeve to clean that. Good morning, everyone. I see people coming in and saying good morning. So you must be in an earlier place in the country than I am. And good afternoon to all of you who are coming in from the Midwest and the East Coast and over in Europe. Good evening. All the different time zones can be so confusing when you're trying to catch a live, right? But thank you guys for making it. It's great to see you here. Okay. Alrighty. So we're going to put this back in here. And we're going to pour this all over this piece. Not everywhere, but we'll leave that little top corner vacant for my clothespin. Okay. So now we are going to emboss this. Lots of embossing today. We turned the clocks back this weekend. Ugh, that's going to make it darker earlier. But then at least it'll be lighter in the morning, right? We got to find some rainbow of hope there. It's so dark in the morning here. It's hard for me to get out of bed. So now it'll be bright at 6 o'clock in the morning, but it'll be dark at 4. Oh, well. You know what? We have to go through winter because that's what makes spring and summer so wonderful. Okay, so there we go. You know what? I got to tell you, I mean, I love, you guys know how much I love Florida. I'm a real Florida fan. Tom and I have spent a lot of time in Florida. But I remember when Tom and I were actually playing music together and we played on the road and we would go to the Caribbean in the winter and play in St. Thomas. And then in the summer, we would play in Wisconsin. Well, hang on, I got to get a Swiffer. Well, after a while, all we ever saw was warm, beautiful weather. And although it was amazing, I really stopped appreciating it the way I appreciate it now that I live in Wisconsin and I have to go through the winter. Boy, when we get that first 50-degree day in Wisconsin, I'm ready to put flip-flops on. I'm ready to go out in the sun. I'm ready for it. Where before, maybe I was just taking advantage of it a little bit. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna say I appreciate my spring and summer even more because I have to deal with winter. Okay, so now let's cut a couple bows here. This is long. I'm gonna cut a big bow. Let me cut a little bow. I don't know if I'm gonna use little bows, but I might. So let me cut 2 like that. And then I'll cut a couple of these too. I'll cut one of these. I'll cut one of these. Because everything I'm doing is kind of small. So if I was going to make a really big ornament, let me move this up so you can see it. If I was going to do a really big ornament, like a big circle or something, I would use these bigger ones. but I'm going to use this. Now, let's go ahead and cut these. Let's see how they look. It's kind of a fun use of these little dies. All right, let me get my pick and stick tool. I need the stick tool part. Okay. So there we go. Now I've got that really pretty gold bow. Love that. Let's do another one. Poke these out. And poke this out here. There's a tiny little gold bow. That's so cute. Something else I want to show you with these too. So these are great for gifts, you know, the gift idea. But I want to show you this too. So when you're doing this ornament idea, where you're cutting these also look really cute over the ornament. You know what I'm saying there? Where you kind of put it together like that. You can put it right above it. Like that. So we might cut a few more of these tiny ones out. Why not, right? We've got some time. And then the thing that pops out of here, you can keep that. And this way, if you want your dot in the center of your bow to be bigger, you can pop it on top of there, of course, in the right direction, and it'll just make it a little bit bigger. Can also make it a little more three-dimensional because you could pop it up and give a little 3-dimension to that. So don't throw out the little thing that comes out of the center of this ornament hanger. Okay, we're getting there. Once I get the pieces all cut out, the cards are going to come together very quickly. Yeah, I mean, try it with all your different embossing powder colors. It makes your own metallic paper is what it does, and you have it exactly to match what's going on your card. Okay, so let's cut out another tiny bow. I think we could maybe fit one in there. Might be able to. Ooh, maybe not. I probably should have spaced these out a little bit better, but I know we can fit one there. I think we can fit, well, we might have to use the other stuff. This was a Gina error. I could have gotten a lot more out of here. Let's see. Can I squeeze it out? I'm going to try to squeeze it out right there like that. We'll see. That's a little rickety down there. We'll see what happens. But definitely you could place things better. But again, you know, like if I had thought about it, like how many bows I wanted, I probably would have spaced them a little tighter. I think I can get 2 out of here. If you emboss, what was that? It said question, Tom. Question. If you emboss on colored cardstock, does it change the color of the embossing powder? No, it doesn't, because embossing powder is opaque. So you can do it on top of any colored cardstock you want, and it'll all be the exact right same color. That's why all of this gold will match, even though I'm using 3 different color cardstocks that I embossed it on. It's a good question, though. I like that. Okay, so we've got another big one and a small one, and I think they worked out just fine. So I'm going to get one more small one, 2 more small ones, and then 1 more hanger. So I can do that on this piece, but I do need some of this over here, and I'll show you why. So let's see. I'm going to do another long hanger, and I'm going to do 2 more small bows. So I'll do one here. We'll cut these out quickly, and then we'll cut out 1 more bow. This way we can really jazz it up. Oh, the dies are so fun. And you know what's great about these dies? It's not just for the holidays. You can make birthday presents, right? It doesn't have to be Christmas presents. It can be birthday presents. So if you want to do this same card for birthday cards instead of Christmas presents, Christmas cards, you certainly can. I'm just doing Christmas now because it's part of my holiday series. But translate these ideas to whatever holiday or theme you want. I mean, a gift is always good. It could be a graduation gift. It all depends on what greeting you put and how you want to decorate your packages. So these are a nice little addition to your collection. All right, one more tiny bow down here, and then we'll be done die cutting, at least this part. Okay. And then if you have things like, oh, stickles and stuff like that, you can add a little bit of extra sparkle and shine over your bows if you want. Like if you want to just add a little stickles glitter glue right into the center here to make it glittery, that's totally fine to do. Okay, so I've got those. And just cleaning this one out. So let's get rid of the die cutting machine for now. Doesn't mean we won't be coming back to it. Well, I usually have my stool set up, so I have to put it on the floor. I have a little stool that sits off to the side of me here that I place my die cutting machine on so I don't have to bend so much. All right, because, you know, bending, who wants to do that? All right, so I have all my little pieces here. And I'm going to throw away these, but I bet you guys could come up with something that you could use these for. Little butterfly wings you could accent. You could use them for decorating inside your mandalas. There's so many things that you could do with all that stuff you cut out. Now, I'm going to hand cut instead of die cut a couple of different sizes here. Now, if you're not comfortable with that, you can use something like these dies. These double stitched squares. If you make a square like that, it's perfect size for a bow on top. You could definitely do that, but I'm going to make mine a little bit smaller and I'm going to cut them all by hand. This way, you know, for anybody out there that doesn't have all those dies, you can make this card too. All right, so let's start with the green one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a tall one. So it's going to go 1.5 inches by 3 inches. So that's going to be one of my presents, 1.5 inches by 3 inches. It's going to be one of the presents. Now I know it doesn't look finished yet, and I might alter that size. And then I have the Master Layout 7 die set. You don't have to use the Master Layout 7 die set. You can use any circle punch, anything that you have. But I'm going to cut a circle out of that because this is going to be one of my ornaments. So I'm going to put this aside and we're going to do that later. Okay, so now that was 1.5 by 3. So let's make one 1 3/4. 1 3/4 by 2.5. I'm just picking numbers now. 1 3/4 by 2.5. So there we go. And again, that could use a bigger bow. That one, right? Have that one up here. Okay, and now we're going to do a small kind of squatty one. So this one will be 2 by 2. So we'll just go 2 inches by 2 inches. And we might make it even smaller because I want to use a small bow on one of them. And I feel like that's going to look a little stupid. Well, maybe let's make it 1.5 by 1.5. Or let's see what 1.5 by 2 looks like. See if that looks too weird with this little bow. That looks kind of weird. Maybe I'll cut out another big bow. But I kind of wanted a square one for down near the bottom. So let's go 1.5 by 1.5. We'll make a little square box. And then I can cut one more bow. I'll have plenty to cut one more bow. Okay, so we're going to have kind of a grouping of 3 presents here on the front of the card. This paper cutter is by We Are Memory Keepers. I know it's a little bright. Might be hard to read that, but it's We Are Memory Keepers. We sell these in our store. We may be out of stock on them right now. They're hard for us to keep in. We sell them so quickly. Okay, So I'm going to get my die cutting machine now, and I'm going to cut 3 circles using Master Layout 7. And again, if you don't have that, just find a circle punch or a different circle die, whatever you have. It doesn't have to be this size. It can be any size at all. So I'm going to cut this one out. This one has a little stitching on it, which is kind of cute. So we'll go with that. I'm going to cut this out. Okay, so there's one. I'm going to cut one out of this. And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to cut one more big bow. Might as well, while I'm here, I'll just cut it right there. Cut those together. And if you have tiny oval dies in your collection, you could do an oval. Yep, you could do, whatever. That's right. You could, if you have a flame, yeah, you could make them into pillar candles. That's a great idea. So there we go. This could be a straight up and down, or it could be on an angle like that, or it could be this way if you want your ornament to look like that. So now I've got 2 little ornaments there. All right, and we'll cut that out, push that out. There we go. Now I have enough big bows just in case I need them. I got to look at the whole thing because I might have to cut things down even more. You never know, right? Once you get started, you're not sure how it's going to look. All right, and we'll do one of these. So I'm going to find a spot where I see a little more of the turquoise. Now, of course, if that doesn't bother you, you could probably get several out of this. You might even be able to get, well, you'd definitely be able to get 2 out of there. So you could make more than 1 card of this one as well. Alrighty. I think the small bow could layer on top of the large. I haven't really tried that, but we can look at it. I mean, yeah, it could. You could definitely do that. That would be very cute. Love it. Love that idea. So you guys have the ideas. You guys come in here and inspire me. Okay, so while we're here, let's cut some white panels out of Master Layouts 2, just so we have that little decorative edge. Kind of in the mood for that today. You want the card and it's not even finished yet? Aw, that's so nice. Well, wait till it's done because you never know. Anything can happen. All right, so I'm going to cut 2 of these out. Actually, I'm going to cut one, and then I'm going to cut the other one after I do something to it. So we're not done embossing yet. In the kit, we've got this really pretty snowflake set, and I've been using it on some of my cards, but it's got a design in here that I really love that I haven't used yet. So I am going to use it. I'm just going to trim this down a little bit, not to the size that my card's going to be, just trimming it down so that I can use the Misty. So let me find my Misty. Oh, it's still got my greeting in from the other night. That's bad. Okay. Oh, well. See, I'm not lying when I say I don't clean up. I really don't clean up very well. That's a funny thing to say. Okay. All right, let's dry that with a piece of paper towel since I got it all wet with my tidy towel. All right. So I'm going to use a little bit of this embossing magic pad. And then I'm going to use my Misty corner. So if you don't have a Misty corner, you can put like a small ruler up here and on the side just to pull the design away from the side. I don't even know if that's going to make much of a difference. You know what we're going to do in this case? We're going to take a little bit of tape. And we're just going to put it on the back of this cardstock and we're going to tape it into place because I'm not going to stamp this more than once anyway. So, but I want it to stay in place when I pull the stamp off. So this is the stamp set I'm talking about. It's this one here, and it's got this design here that I just love. So I'm going to do this in my in gold embossing. And the thing that's cool about this is you can flex it any way you want. So if you want it to be more like curved, you can do that. And I'm going to put it right down here like this, because I'm going to cut this out with Master Layouts 2. And the reason why I'm doing this part first is because it's hard to emboss or stamp over stitches. And this has a little stitched edge to it. So I'm going to do the embossing part first, and then I'm going to cut it. Okay, so I'm going to use the Embossing and Watermark ink again. You lost your Misty corner? Oh no. I did too. I actually had to buy a second set. I don't know where it went. And there's a lot of things in there, like different angle things and all kinds of stuff. And all I lost was my corner. I lost both of them. I think there's 2, and I lost them both. Okay, so I'm going to just use my Chucky tool to put a little light pressure on that. And then I'm going to get this. And where in the heck did I put... All right, we're using this one. I can lose something in my hand. It could be in my hand and I lose it. Alrighty. So I think I'm going to stamp it again. I don't feel like I got enough on there. So it wasn't the first time I used the stamp, so I think I have to give it a second stamping. So what am I going to do? I'm not going to stamp it right over the same spot. I'm just going to take a paper towel and I'm going to rub that embossing powder off of there. And I'm going to flip the whole thing. I've got a little tape on here. I don't know if I can get that off. If I can, I'll just get a new piece of paper and use this as a scrap. But this is the Mono Sand Eraser. It does take glue off of things. I feel like I might just get a new piece. That's not bad. There we go. Okay, that worked. The glue is gone. So let's put a little on this side now. The reason why I'm not using the same side is because there is still Embossing and Watermark ink on there, and it's gonna, even though I brushed it all off, the embossing powder will still stick all over that, even if I use the embossing magic pad. I have to see if I want to do this piece. I think it'll be okay. I don't know, sometimes my eyes aren't that good, and I'm like, I can't see anything on there, and then I take a picture of it, and I'm like, oh man, there's a big glob on there. Why didn't I see that? Okay. Maybe I will stamp it twice. I'll stamp it twice just for good measure. So Tom,
Yes.
do you have a word of the day?
I have 3 words of the day to go with this wonderful theme
You have
of
3 words?
scraps. Scraps. That would be a great name for a doggy for you.
Scraps? Oh my gosh. That would be adorable. Okay, so now that worked out pretty well. So now I'm going to heat that. But first, I got to get rid of any little things that are in the way. Scraps. That would be such a cute name for a dog for me, wouldn't it? Oh my gosh.
Okay, so keeping with the scrappiness theme.
Uh-oh.
So all those little pieces that you have to use your tool to get out of the die
Yes.
when you pick at them, you're doing a scrapendectomy when you...
Oh, it's one of those days, huh?
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
And if you're taking on someone and kind of showing them the ropes, taking them under your wing, you would have a scrapprentice.
A scrapprentice. I like that.
Scrapprentice.
Scrapprentice. Okay. All right.
Okay. And I'm going to get one more before I need to leave the building.
Before you go back in the dead space.
In the dead space. Okay, so if you over clean your craft room too zealously and kind of end up throwing away all your scraps,
oh, that's devastating.
your valuable scraps, because you were just on a tear. There's another kind of pun, but so you made the choice to practice scrapstinence.
Scrapstinence. Oh my gosh. Very good.
Back in the dead space.
Oh man. We'll let everybody just recover from that for a second while I emboss. Okay. Scrapstinence. All right, so now I've got my little happy little banner there that I'm going to hang my ornaments from. You're all going to hang from this. All right, that was very good, Tom. I think we all needed the word of the day. No matter what the situation. No matter what that word was. All right, speaking of magnets, let's see. I missed that comment. The comments go by so fast. I look up and they're just whizzing by because we're getting comments from all 3 platforms at once. All right, so I'm going to cut this out using Master Layouts 2. Alrighty. Bonus words today. We did. Rose wants to know when you're coming out with your words of the day book, Tom.
Oh, working on it. All kinds of things going on in the dead space.
Okay. So I think I'm going to like break out of my shell here. And I know I'll put this card up and nobody will know it's a Gina K Designs card. Because I'm going to choose Red Hot instead of black as my layering color. I know. I can't believe it. No, actually, I'm going to do black. Okay, let's get the black here. I'm going to do black. So you could cut this with Master Layouts 2, or if you want, and you're cutting by hand, it would measure 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And that should match Master Layouts 2. So that's pretty good, I think, right there. So I know I can't. I'm making both cards at the same time, which is, I don't know if I recommend this or not, but I'm doing it because at the end, I want to have 2 cards to give away. I want them to be 2 fun cards. And we have this one here. Okay. Now we're going to outline the circles in black because I am going to use the other die from Master Layouts 7 that completely disappeared on my desk, but here it is. Pull it out here. The dies are flying out everywhere. There we go. And I'm going to line those in black, and then I'm going to cut little layers for my squares. You don't have to do this part, but you know me. I got to do a little black on my card, or it just doesn't feel like it's a Gina K card. So I'll cut out 3 little circles to do them one at a time. So I got to go fast here. Not that you guys are in a rush, right? We're all just hanging out together. It's good. We're not in any hurry. They are a time saver. I agree. And you know, the master layouts are a time saver. And what's nice is if you have time to just sit like you don't know what to do, you can make a bunch ahead of time. And then you could just grab and go. You know, you need a quick circle, you've got one, or at least do the shadow layers. If you like to do the black like me, or you want to have a variety of colors for shadow layers. One more. And then we'll cut the rest of the black pieces from what's left of this piece. Okay. Should I do an incentive stamp that says better than horrible? What if somebody's brand new to Gina K Designs and they don't know what we're talking about? They're going to think that is the weirdest thing. But if they know us, we all know it's better than horrible, right? That's all that matters. Okay. So now we're going to measure this. And this is 1.5 by 2. So I'm going to make this one. That is not 2 inches. There's 3 inches. So I'm going to make this 3 1/8 by, it was 1.5, right? Yep. 1 5/8. See how that looks together. Yes. I think that's going to make these pop a lot. And now I'm going to cut some strips here. So this measures 3 1/2 inches. I'm going to cut a 1/8 of an inch strip. Because, if I can pick it up, because I want to have a gold strip going down that card that then, you know, my bow will be up top here like that. Okay. So I'm going to cut that. I'm going to cut a couple of those. So I'm just going to go down 1/8 of an inch increments, and I'm going to cut several of them. So I can use them on all the gifts. And I'm cutting more than I need because I'm going to do some ones going across as well. Now these probably would look very beautiful in black, and the bows would look very beautiful in black. So, you know, there's different ways you can do this for sure. So let's put this card aside for now. We'll get all the pieces for this card, and we're going to put this aside. And we'll start on, that actually goes here. We'll start on the presents card. Okay. So we're going to make our first gift here. We're going to get a little tape, and we're going to tape this down like that. And then we're going to adhere this to the gift in the center. Try to get it as centered as possible. And it's nice because you can move it around a little bit because it's like resting on the embossing powder. So once you get that where you want it, then just get a pair of scissors and snip that off. I always like to snip from the back because you can see more clearly where the snip should be. Then I think I'll put one here like this. Or you could put it up higher like this. And then this is going to go on top. So let's do that. We'll just do a little bit here. And we'll line this up. I do think black might even look better. But I'm not going to cut all the bows out again. So you could try the black yourself. I think it might be a little more striking. And then we'll put this onto our black panel. I might put a black sequin on the bow just to jazz it up. Okay. And then we will adhere our bow onto that. Right there like that. Okay, so we have our first present. Okay. We could definitely use like a black pearl in the center. I've got black pearls here that I think would be perfect. Just to accent that. Like that. Okay. So we'll do that one now. Let's do this one. Isn't it a fun way to use scraps? You're just grabbing scraps out of your drawer. I didn't cut one piece of cardstock except for I did need something bigger for this piece, and I'll need something bigger for my card base. But you could make tons of these. And, you know, if you want, just make a bunch of gifts. That would be cute that way too. A bunch of gifts and put them in a drawer. And then when you need a fast birthday card, just grab a gift, a very done up gift like this, and you can use it. There's that. We'll do the same thing on this one. This was the scrap from the last one. I'm using scraps of scraps now. Oh my gosh. This is the best thing ever. See, all my gold is matching. So cute. So I've made my own gold paper. And then we have to cut the little background one for this. I don't think we cut all these yet. So this one measures 1 3/4 by 2 1/2. So we'll make this one 2 5/8 by 1 7/8. Is that what I said? That is what I said. Okay, so this is 1 3/4, 1 7/8. Okay. Pop that on there. I still don't mind being the old-fashioned way of cutting things out, doing the old-fashioned thing of measuring. This is hanging over the edge a little bit here. There we go. Destroying my mellow. Harshing my mellow, I think is the term. Okay, and this one will go there like that, and we'll put another pearl on there. We'll glue it on. Okay, so now we have this present there. And then we'll put this one right here in the front. We'll have that red. So cute. The other card will go really fast. So this one measures, this is a square, it measures 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. So we're going to do 1 5/8 by 1 5/8. Hello and welcome. People still coming in? That's the time zone thing. I know it is. Oh, we got to put our little gold things on here. So I'm going to use this one sideways, on an angle, diagonal, right? And then my up and down stripe for the ribbon look. Tom, you should write a book of words of the day. You should be writing all these down, because I know a lot of them, some of them you think about, but some of them come off the top of your head.
Yeah, there's a lot coming off the top of my head right
now. All right, so we've got those two, and now we have this one.
That's what happens when you get old.
Yeah. Oh, I love this card. It's so fun, isn't it? Scrappy scrap card. Okay, so just one little thing. If you really wanted to jazz it up, you could just do a little hairline cut of black. And you could add that into the center of the gold. See how that would really just make it more? Let's do it. Let's do it. It's just a hair. It's like what you cut off the edge. And you can do that because there's no measurement. Just stick your cardstock like right up to the very edge of the paper and just push it a little bit. But look how much more that pops when you do that. Isn't that fun? Look at my scissors. Isn't that fun? You still have the gold in there. Gotta do it. I feel like it just makes it pop a little more because everything I do has to have some black on it. And I know you guys know that. So it's really just hairs that I'm cutting off here. I know I have the other card to make, but whatever. We're not on network. We don't have to be off because General Hospital is coming on next. We can be here as long as we want. I like this idea, the little hair. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to start saving the hairs that come off of your cards.
General Hospital?
Yeah. You know, like if we were like a syndicated show, we'd have to be off the air at a certain time. We don't have to be. We can stay as long as we want. This is really thin, this one. But I feel like it's worth it. To put a little more on this down here. I can't not do it. I feel like it needs that little pop. Right? Doesn't that just help so much? A little extra bit of black. Okay, one more. And then I promise I will throw the greeting on there and make the next card in record time. I have to do it. Especially because I'm sending this card to somebody in our viewing audience. I know it would be cute to go the other way too, but I think you guys would freak out if I decided to do that. But doesn't that just make them pop more? You know it does. I'm not lying here. Okay, so now to get these mounted onto the card and onto the card base. So I'm thinking we'll do just a simple white card base for these cards. So I've got a real piece of cardstock here, not a scrap. Ta-da! Here's one that was down there. And I'm just going to cut this at the 4 1/4 inch mark. It's worth the time. It's worth the time we're putting in together here. Because this is so fun. You guys can do these cards and they will be amazing. And I think just the idea of, having a bunch of presents and ornaments and stuff just ready to go, especially the gifts, because there's so many reasons that you could put a present on a card. Okay. Now we've got to figure out how to get these on here. So I'm going to use the skinny foam tape. That's this. And I'm going to use just a few little pieces here that I have. Okay. Now I'm going to start with this one here, this big one, and I'm going to put this directly onto the card. Should I leave a little room at the bottom for the greeting? I think so. Maybe. Maybe there won't be room at the bottom for the greeting. We'll see. So I'll put that one there. And if you're worried about this, you can actually put some tape onto these parts of it as well. This way, it will be on there, but you can kind of stick it down onto the cardstock too, so it stays put. Okay, now this one I'll put my greeting up here somewhere. We're going to put this one over here, and we're going to just make sure we have even spacing on the sides. All right, so I'm going to put tape here, but I think I'm going to put just a little piece of foam tape there so that it will sit up a little bit. Actually, what I'll do is I'll put another piece of foam tape here, and I won't worry about that because then it will stick up properly and it won't be lower on one side than the other side. So right here. So it's really just going to be attached to the card right at these two spots. Okay. So we'll do that down here like that, just a little bit down like that. And then this one we'll do the same thing. We'll put it down here a little bit and we'll just attach it on the side here. It's not going anywhere, so don't worry about that. Okay. And we'll put that one right here, down in the front a little bit. Okay. We could put a little tape on that because that actually fits really nicely, and we could tape it to that. There we go. Now let's add the black panel. Ooh, see, that makes everything pop, doesn't it? I love this card. I didn't even think I would like this idea. I had this idea in the middle of the night. I was half asleep, and I thought, I don't know if I'm going to like it. I hope I like it. And then we'll put that onto, where'd I put my card bases? Oh, here's one. Onto this card base. Yeah. I just think you let the, you let all the colors in the card itself really shine when you go white on white like this. And then what are we going to do for a greeting for this? Let's see. What do we have? Well, these are all going to be too big. So let's take a look at what we have here. All right. So you see this greeting here, this Merry Christmas and Happy New Year? It's too big. But the Merry Christmas part is not too big, so let's use that part on the card. It's a little tip when you have something that works. This is kind of fat here, so pray for me that I'm doing it this way. All right, so we're just going to put the greeting where we want it, like that, and we're going to pick it up with the door of the Misty. And then get that in place. Everybody's holding their breath. I am the one holding my breath the most here because I'm going to use a little pixie tape, and I'm just going to put it right here to block off the rest of this greeting. And then I'm going to use my black ink pad to ink up this greeting. And then I'm going to pull that pixie tape off. And then I'm going to stamp it. Okay, there we go. I love it. What do you think? Okay, so we're going to put 3 little black gems on here. I might not get to the second card, guys. I had big plans for it. But how about if I make the second card and I just share it on social media? I think that might be the thing I have to do because I still have like 15, 20 minutes of that card. And I know we all got things to do. So I think I'm going to do that. I'll make the card and then I'll share it on our Facebook page and on the community tab at YouTube. So you'll get to see it no matter where you watch my videos. Except my Twitch friends. You'll have to either come over to YouTube and just look at my channel. All right, so we're going to there. That makes a difference, doesn't it? I'm using the Gina K Designs Metallic Pearls. I love this card. It's fun. It's busy, but it's fun. Oh, goodness.
But very organized.
It is an organized card, right?
Yes.
It looks very...
That is actually the way you place presents under the tree in a very, very organized manner.
Okay. Well, what do you think? Is it fun? Fun card? Lots of shine to it. Using lots of scraps. And then the other one, basically, I'll just give you the synopsis here. we'll just do the quick layout off to the side here, was going to be 3 ornaments that are at different heights. So I will just trim the tops off of those so that they work, just so that you get an idea. Like this. This will probably go down even further. That'll go up a little higher and in, and this one will go up here. And we'll cut that string off there. And then we'll just put a greeting down here. So that's basically the other one, just so that you guys have a general idea. And, you know, we can add these cute little bows to it up here, because the holiday toppers, that one has a bow. This one doesn't. So that's the basic idea of the other one, just so that you have an idea of how you would use these. And I'll put this card together and I'll pop it into the group. But this is the main card for today, right there. There it is. Ta-da! All right, Tom. So shall we give away this card? Let's give away this card.
All right.
Because I don't know what's going to happen with this one yet. And I don't want to promise somebody something that might not work out at all.
Scraptacular, scraptastic.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. Drum roll, please.
Okay.
For the win. Merry Christmas card from today goes to Susan Stewart Rinky.
Congratulations, Susan.
Rinky.
You are our winner. So send your name and address to info@ginakdesigns.com and we'll get that out to you. Now, I do want to say that I've got a pile of these cards on my desk right now that I have not gotten to because I have been so busy getting ready for our Christmas release. So that tied me up. And then we've got a little mini kit coming out soon. It's a kit. It's not a mini kit. It's a kit coming out really soon. We're just waiting for one component of the kit. And then we've got another little illustrators release coming in November, and there's Black Friday on the horizon. So, you know, I've been super busy. So I apologize if you're waiting for a card from me. If you've been waiting for 3 or 4 weeks, that's not unusual anyway. It usually takes me that long to get them all out. I usually wait a couple weeks and then do everything all at once. But I promise they're coming. So if you haven't gotten it yet, just hang in there. All right, everybody. Well, this was so much fun. I had a great time with you guys, and I hope that you had fun with this too. I'm going to try my darndest to get a 5-minute card video out for you this weekend. And Tom and I will be back next Tuesday night with another Stamp and Chat Live. So we hope to see you there. Everybody, in the meantime, stay safe and stay healthy. We love you all so very much. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.